Sorry, I just want to make sure I made a small error there at the end. If I divide by 3, I end up at 5. I think I had 15 there. So just easy to make little errors here. So just clarifying the last video there, that they're your solutions. Next, we're going on to simultaneous equation here. Solve the simultaneous equations. Well, I don't like that I have a fraction there, so I'm going to multiply everything by 5 to get rid of that fraction. Okay, so there's the first bit, the second bit, and the third bit, and I'm multiplying them all by 5. They cross off. That's 8f minus 5e equals 10. And here, I don't like that it doesn't look in the normal format. Maybe you don't like that it's f's and e's. Maybe you want to put it as x and y. Feel free to do that. I'm happy enough to work with e's and f's. But normally, I have things on the same side, like the variables on the same side. So I'm going to subtract 2e from both sides there, and I'll end up with nothing on the right-hand side. And from here, I think the most straightforward thing that I can do is I'm going to multiply the top line by a 2 and the bottom line by a minus 5. And then I should get my e's. Apologies. Sorry, I'd have that to cancel out. So that's 16f. Minus 10e is equal to 20. Minus 15f. Minus by minus is a plus. 10e is equal to anything times 0 is 0. So when I subtract, so I work this out, 16f minus 15f is 1f. And minus 10e plus 10e is 0. And that gives me 20. So it looks like in this situation that f is 20. Now, if I then go back here, maybe to the start, and I take one of my original equations, this one looks the easiest. 3f is the same as 2e. Well, f is 20, so 3f's is the same as 2e. That's 60 is the same as 2e. Going to divide by 2, e is 30. And I might just highlight that for the person who's correcting it. Find the value of the following when p is minus 7. Well, that should be okay to do if you have your calculator. No harm in if you want to use your calculator, or you could just try and sub it in. So I have top line 2 times minus 7 minus a 1 on the top, and we have a square root. We have a minus 7 to be squared, so the whole thing needs to be squared, the minus 7. Just be very careful how you write that in your calculator. You need the whole thing to be squared because it's all of p is squared. And then we have plus 15. Throw that into the calculator and we get minus 15 over 8. And they didn't ask for it in a certain way, so I'm just going to leave it like that. Then they want me to fully factorize. So factorizing is the reverse of multiplication. We're finding the two things that multiply to give me this. So if we have 5fh minus 2h squared minus 6h plus 15f, I wonder will that work out for me. So what do they have in common? They seem to have a h. And that means that 5f would be up there. No, that doesn't work though. If you multiply, okay, so if we multiply that by that, we end up with that. What would we multiply 5f by to end up with a, no, it's just not working. So I'm going to go again, and I'm going to put them in a different order. I'm going to put them in maybe 5fh plus 15f, maybe minus 2h squared minus 6h. I don't know, I'll move it around again if I need to. 5 is in common there, so is f, which means that h is left here. Okay, this is looking much better this time. So that'd be minus 2h. Minus 2h times what would give me a minus 6, be a plus 3. And would that work there? Brilliant. Yes, it does. Okay, so my two factors are h plus 3 and 5f minus 2h. You always take the signs that are here. Okay, if you want to check if that was right or wrong, you just multiply it out. Next question. We have a diagram here, and you can have a read there. I'm sure you read it when you were doing your exam. Note that ACB is not a right angle, and use trigonometry to work out the value of x. So my end game is here, but I notice I have an awful lot of things missing. So I'm going to start in the triangle that has the most information. And if I look, we have 3 triangles. We have the one on the left, we have the little one on the right, and we have the large one. I think the one that has the most information is this one on the left here. So that's h, that's 11.8, and that's 20. Okay, it says use trigonometry. Like I was going to say, we're doing like sides and angles in a triangle, so I would go to trigonometry, but it's actually told me to use trigonometry. So you go to your log tables, you look at the bottom half of the page, and do I use Pythagoras or sine, cos and tan? So Pythagoras is all about the sides. No, it's not Pythagoras. I don't have enough information. So then I go for sine, cos and tan. Right, so that's the opposite and that's the adjacent. What one has opposite and adjacent? Again, just compare it to the diagram in your log tables. It's tan. So the tan of the angle is opposite over adjacent. So the tan, when I fill this in, of 20 is equal to opposite over adjacent. And now it's just algebra that's left. So if you get as far as here, your trigonometry is very good. And the tan of 20, I can just find out from the calculator. Algebra is all that's left here now. So h divided by 11.8. Well, if I want to get rid of the 11.8, I need to do the opposite. I need to multiply. But if I multiply one side, I need to multiply the other. And I end up with h is equal to 4.294848764. Now, it says work out the value of x. Give your answer correct to the nearest whole number. It doesn't say in the question round off every time you want to. It says give your answer for x, the nearest whole number. So I'm not writing this as in a short way. This is what h is, and that's what I'm going to type in every time I use h. Now I'm going to look and just see, do I have enough information in my right triangle, or the triangle on the right here? Yeah, it looks like I have more information. We now know what h is. We have this. And it looks like tan again. So tan of x is equal to 2 over 4.294848. Take that all down. Okay, so tan inverse. If we want x, we need to do tan inverse, but if we do tan inverse to one side, we have to do tan inverse to the other. So x is equal to tan inverse of 2 over that really long number there. Throw it into your calculator and you end up with 24.97. no, sorry. Have I done this correctly? So I end up with, apologies, I see it. I get the tan is opposite, which is the 4 on top, 4.294848, all over the 2 on the bottom. Okay, so now we go tan inverse of this. And just type that into the calculator. We end up at 65.0298 which they told me give my answer correct to the nearest whole number, so that's 65 degrees. X is 65 degrees.